Welcome back to the Battery Podcast. I'm Aidan,
Then I'm Jack.
and we are here to get you ready for the Cannons' final regular season game of the year against the Carolina Chaos. This Friday at 10:30 p.m. It is a late one out in Salt Lake City. Um, I have
PLL after dark.
well after dark, yeah. That is almost 3 hours after sunset. I am very glad I live close to where we have our watch parties so that I will not get home at like 2 in the morning. Um,
Must be nice.
Yeah, well, you don't. Yeah, no, you live a bit further, but not unreasonably far. Um, we're not sharing our addresses on here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's the final game against the Chaos. Cannons at 6-3, the Chaos at 4-5. Um, we'll talk about the very odd playoff scenarios that can result, but most likely the Cannons will be the 2 or 3 seed in the Eastern Conference, so the 3 or 4 seed overall. Chaos have not clinched a playoff spot. They might have by the time the game happens. If the Redwoods lose the first game of the evening, then the Chaos will be in. However, I'm sure they're still fighting for the seeding, and we know an Andy Towers coach team is not just going to lay down. So it is going to be an intense, passionate, you know, possibly some punches thrown, definitely some fouls called, um, and we can't wait. So we're joined by two members of the Red Legion, the Carolina Chaos supporter group, and Jack. Unless you got anything else, I think we'll just get into it.
No, yeah. Let's kick it over.
All right, so here's our conversation and game preview with Josh and Michael from the Red Legion. And thank you to Josh and Michael from the Red Legion for coming on with us tonight, talking about the Cannons and the Chaoses final game of the year. Thank you guys for both for coming on. How you doing?
Doing well. It's great to be here. Thanks for having us. It's
Yeah.
it's
Doing
fun
good.
to be on a podcast.
Yeah, I guess this is 27, I think, for us, but I guess it's number one for you guys, right?
Pretty much.
Yeah, pretty
Yeah.
much.
Yeah. All right. Well, hopefully we get that going next year. It'd be fun to see, like, get the whole supporter group podcast environment going.
For sure.
Have us all cross-pollinate.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. All right. So, all right. I guess, Jack, how do you want to begin here? We can talk about the upcoming game. We can talk about the season so far.
Yeah, let's talk about the season so far. How do it's final weekend of the year. Kind of just want to get your thoughts. How do you think the season has gone for Carolina? What were your expectations and how do you feel like since then, basically?
So, Michael, you want to take a stab at it first?
I'll say it feels just like Carolina sports, really, because like I keep telling people that are kind of new-ish and stuff.
Mhm.
I'm like, it's like the Panthers. Like we have a great defense or something, and our offense just can't score. So like that's just what it's felt like right now. It's like we have this amazing defense. Like I swear they got to be like the top in like almost
Yeah.
everything. They're playing so well, and you have Blaze Reardon as goalie, and it's just tough when I don't think we've scored 10 goals more than 3 times this year. So it's tough. So it's been a bit frustrating. I know it's a talented team, but they have not been putting the ball in the net.
No.
Yeah. I mean, it's par for the course in Carolina. It's not like Boston,
No, no, no.
where with the all sports
Glory.
history. But I mean, I think so. I guess this is the first year at home city. So I mean, I like Chaos was not my primary team prior to this, so I just kind of kept tabs on them. But I feel like the Chaos historically kind of, sit in the bottom half during the regular season and then make a hard push in the playoffs.
For
Mhm.
sure.
And they usually do pretty well. So, I mean, this is kind of standard operating procedure. I am concerned about the offense for sure. I mean, especially this last week, scoring 4 goals is
And one
kind
was
of
off a face-off.
right.
Like,
Yeah, Rowlett had one, right? Nick
yeah,
Rowlett had.
exactly.
Yeah.
So like 3 goals on offense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I mean we didn't have Burn which is like probably the biggest piece of our offense that we need. But still, like we took 43 shots, scored essentially 3 goals. You know, 42 shots, 3 goals. So I mean, like that can't work. You know, that can't work. So like our defense is great, and like we got our boy Geddes, Zach, short
Yeah.
defensive midi, who's just like an electric on
Massachusetts
defense.
native.
That's right. We got the electric on defense with the transition stuff, but it's just like our offense is not working right now. So we gotta figure something out.
Yeah. I wonder, I'd love to drill down a little bit more into the offense there. I think a lot was made in the offseason, and it's been true here of the kind of Canadian style that you guys have had the past couple of years, with a lot of those players not coming back for one reason or another, and bringing in a new guy and moving away from that. What were your thoughts like before the season started when all this was happening? And I mean, you said it hasn't gone so well so far, but are you optimistic for the future that they'll figure it out?
I am optimistic. I think we have a lot of talent. Like we've got some very talented attackmen. We've got some very talented midfielders. I guess it's just finding the thing that worked. I mean, I think for the first part of the season, we kind of moved away from the 2-man game that
Yeah.
the Chaos had used a lot. And I think, we've been doing little flashes of that more recently, trying to get back into that, but that was kind of where we worked, and particularly, Canadian style lacrosse, which, I don't know that too well, but so I could just be talking out of my ass, but that's what it gets like for me. But I mean, we also have a lot of youth on the team. Got a young team, so I mean, it's just, I think we'll get there. I mean, I've loved watching Knobloch. He's been excellent as a rookie. I think we got some very talented attackmen individually. It's just finding the right lineups and finding the thing that works. And I'm optimistic.
Yeah, I think so too. I think we saw a similar type of thing from the Cannons, just in the opposite side of the field, right? With all the changes they had on defense, and then especially with Jack Healty, the captain literally of the team and of the defense, getting hurt, and how it took them a long time to adjust and figure out from that. So with kind of the same thing from the cast, because you're right. You do have a lot of rookies. You got what? Scott, Knobloch, Dobson, Minikis in his second year, Perkovic and Henningberger their first year with the team, especially with no
Yeah.
practice during the week. It is a lot to expect those guys to figure it out, and when the coaches to figure out how to use every guy in the best way.
Right. And it's like those all those names are people on the offensive side of the field.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
that's what makes it tricky.
yeah, and that's makes the defense shine even more by comparison with everyone returning. Bowen is it his second or third year?
I believe second.
Second. Yeah. I mean, but obviously a stud, and then Rowlett and Newman and Reardon, who have been there every year of the Chaos franchise existence.
Yeah.
So that chemistry is evident when they're playing. And even the short, like the defensive midfielders and stuff. I think Resch has been there every year. Glacini isn't dressing really this year, but
Ray's been there.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's I definitely, well, like you said, they've always made a push in the playoffs. I think the year that they won the championship, they went 2-8 in the regular season.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I think so they were, I
It's always
mean,
possible.
last team doesn't make it into the playoffs, right? So that they were at the
Yeah.
cutoff,
Yeah.
their championship. So
Well, that's the thing. I feel like anyone can beat anyone
They
any
really can.
week in this league, and with so many teams making the playoffs, it's just the same thing. That exactly, you can go 2-8 and then just run the table. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
That's why I'm surprised in this world why so many people are into the betting and everything on. I'm like, there is no way I'm putting money on lacrosse right now, because who's taking Philly to be the first out,
right.
No.
Like that's just crazy.
I did have
I
them
can't
under
believe
five
that.
and a half wins. I
Did
placed
you?
that bet before the season started,
I'm
and
just
I'm
like,
very happy it cashed.
I have zero. Like, I've watched this game for a while now, and I'm just like, anybody can win.
Yeah.
Anyone.
I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, you think of the Redwoods, who looked like the worst team in the league for most of the early part of the season, and they beat the Cannons, who
Yeah,
had a good shot at being the best team in the league.
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
And I'd be surprised, but I wouldn't be like astounded if the Water Dogs managed to beat the Atlas, especially because the Atlas don't have very much to play for. Um, I would be surprised, but not. It wouldn't be like if the Bears beat the Chiefs. Like that would be another level of astounding.
Right. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, exactly. It totally could happen. It's just it's one of those things where if it happened, you'd be like, well, yeah, that's just what happens in the PLL. Of course. Of
Yeah.
course the Water Dogs lose 5 1-goal games and then just blow the doors off the Atlas. Like
Yeah.
makes
Yeah, for no
perfect
reason.
sense. Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what makes this weekend really scary.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, talking about that for a second. So
No.
the Rabels have covered it. I think the league has put some stuff out on social media. I'm sure more of that is coming. So for the Chaos to miss the playoffs would require first the Redwoods to win and win by a lot, and then the Chaos to lose by
And
a
lose by a
combined
lot.
margin of 22.
Yes.
So the Chaos or Redwoods play the Archers.
Yeah.
The Chaos obviously play the Cannons, why you guys are here.
Right.
How scared are you that one, those two results are going to go the way that they need to, and two, the number is going to be big enough that you guys miss out because it's a big number.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, that's like in terms of the games, it's like it's a coin toss really with what could happen.
Yeah.
But like the goal differential, the numbers, it's like I'm not confident that it'll be by that big. Although, if we have an offensive output like this last
Of 4 goals.
game,
Well,
Yeah.
still, we only lost by
then
6.
yeah, but then,
I
who
mean,
knows?
I think like not to take anything away from, geez, I can't even remember who you guys played.
The
Last
Outlaws.
Denver.
Oh, the
Yeah,
Outlaws.
we
Yeah.
played
Not to take
Denver.
any credit away from the Outlaws. I think if you score only 4 goals again this weekend, the Cannons will put up more than 10. But yeah, I think effectively the Redwoods are eliminated because that number is so big.
Right.
But I don't know if you guys remember, year one, the Redwoods needed to win their final game by I think 7 to make the playoffs, and they wound up winning by like 11. I was a very different Redwoods team, I'll say.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Definitely a team I had more
Oh,
confidence
yeah.
in. But I mean, I'm definitely rooting for the Woods to win that first game just for max chaos and max pressure on you guys. I think that'll make that game a very fun one. Although you'll definitely
Yeah.
get the best. I mean, they're getting the best out of the chaos either way. Excuse me, but especially if the Woods win that game by more than like 3, there'll be some edge of your seat, some nail biting
Yeah.
probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll see Coach Towers go off.
Yeah. He is a coach I would not want to
He is.
disappoint.
Oh, no. I would
No.
not want to be disappointing him.
Scary human.
Yeah. That is, yeah, Jack, I really wonder how different our like interviews with the coach would be if we had Towers instead of Holman.
Could you imagine?
He's still
Yeah.
Oh my
he's so jacked
gosh.
for the interviews, too.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah, he would be so fun to interview, but he's not like Brian Holman. Just
Oh, no.
I love you guys,
Yeah, exactly.
man. Like
Yeah.
we're just gonna go out there and have fun, and we'll see if we just do our thing. We'll just look up at the scoreboard at the end and see who won. If we do our thing, we probably won. Like that's not
No.
Towers.
Yeah,
Not
versus
at all.
the Towers
Like-
quote from a couple weeks ago. What was it to his teammates in the huddle? Expect to get fucked and be pleasantly surprised when you don't.
When you
Yes, that is
Yeah.
the opposite of Brian Holman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He
Like-
came in after our first game.
That's what I was about to say.
He came over and we were like, you got to hit the drum. And he comes and he just like wails on it one time. He's like, oh, I thought I broke it. It's like, nah, not
But
gonna
those
break that
arms
thing,
being
but still,
sizable.
yeah. He was
Yeah,
just
he's
like, he
such
just
a
wailed
big
on it.
dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, that man's got some strength.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, we're just talking about like the crazy math numbers. It's the same thing I feel like with the 1 seed in the East that
Mhm.
technically, if the Water Dogs can beat New York and we beat the Chaos by a combined score of 18, Cannons still have a shot at the first seed. So it's like, never say never.
Yeah.
You know, we could get that number 1 seed. Not Aiden and I have talked about it a lot. We don't really want it,
Yeah.
but
Especially because the quarters are in Boston or in Gillette.
that's the main reason. Yeah.
Well, I
But
see your
like,
team play. Yeah.
Yeah.
exactly. But like,
And I just don't know because there's a league bye too. So like you
Yeah.
got to
well,
buy
that-
and then you get the
It's-
first seed bye. So it's like that's 2 weeks off. And
Yeah. August 16th to September 7th for the 1 seeds.
this
yeah,
league,
that's
that time
3
off,
full weeks.
I'm not sure about it.
Exactly. You're not practicing during the week, so you're
No.
totally
Well,
off
Brian,
without it.
Well, best believe
that's
I would
right.
get my team together.
yeah, well,
Yeah.
so Coach Holman actually leaked this to us. The 2 1 seeds are going to get flown out to Foxborough and be able to practice that weekend.
I would definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, as they should.
Like at league expense, not like,
Yeah.
hey, Go Manny, I know you live in Utah, but you're flying to Boston this weekend.
Get out
Yeah.
here.
I mean,
Yeah.
I know the league probably doesn't want to kneecap their number 1 seeds.
No,
No,
definitely not. The Archers did
Definitely.
win as the 1 seed last year, but I think that Archers team was a better team. They're not that different, but I don't know.
Yeah.
sometimes pick
They've
for them.
surprised me this year.
Yeah,
they, especially the last few weeks, it feel like they were kind of in control in the West for most of the season, and obviously now Denver's up there, and just who knows what'll happen. It's the Wild West, man.
yeah. I
Yeah.
think any of the 3 of you guys could win. You know, if they go 2-0 in their homecoming, they win it. If all Denver has to do is win their game against Utah and they win the West.
Yeah.
You guys, I guess.
I think we lost it last week. Yeah.
Yeah, well,
Hmm.
maybe, but I feel like goal differential because we're what, 4 and 5.
Yeah. With a
Yeah.
-9 right now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So if Denver
9.
loses to Utah, but then Utah loses their second game, I think it would
I
come
think
down.
Utah would have to lose both. And Denver
Yeah,
would have to lose.
no, it's not.
It's
Well,
not
if
possible.
Carolina won, they'd be 5-5. If Denver lost, they'd be 5-5. But if Denver lost, oh wait, they're 4-4. So if Utah's 4-4, so if they beat Denver, that puts them at 5-4, and then they lose, they're 5-5. So all 3 of you are 5-5.
Yeah,
And
it would
if
just need to be
Denver's
goal differential.
losing to Utah, that means that they're guaranteed to have a negative score differential.
need
Utah
to
is
beat you
currently at
guys.
+4, and you guys are -9. So you would have to beat the crap out of us, I think.
Yeah.
Probably. Especially goal
So I hope that
differential.
doesn't happen.
Yeah. I mean, there's been more blowouts this year than years prior. So I mean, I'm not hoping for a blowout in either direction, really. I think, like a game where the Cannons win by like 3 would probably be ideal for me, not being too stressed and also entertained. Whereas,
Yeah.
if they had that, what was it, 17-3 that the Atlas beat the
4.
Yeah, 17-4, the Atlas beat the Outlaws, and then the Outlaws beat the Redwoods 18-5. Like that type of game, it was tough for me to watch the whole thing. I don't
Yeah.
think I did for 18-5. That game got shortened. Jesus, it could have been even worse.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
It could have been bad.
Mercifully.
Yeah. The Poseidon was like, or Zeus was like, no, that's
Yeah,
That's enough.
Yeah, I was tweeting out. I was like, if there's any game just to call it, this is it. Like, there's no reason to get back out there.
Yeah. No. What about this weekend, though, guys? Diving more into this Cannons Chaos matchup. What is the one thing that scares you the most about the Cannons?
I would say getting behind on 2-point goals, possibly.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say is the 2-point goals. With our offense being anemic like it is, and it's like we've scored by far the fewest 2-point goals this season. I think it was like something like 4 or something
Yeah, I'm
like
pulling that up now.
which I could be totally wrong, but I know it's a low number. And it's like with y'all doing that, if we get in a hole early, then it's like I'm really worried about that. And it's like because with Boston, it's like even when y'all have gotten in big, pits in the first half, you've had some crazy comebacks. Like even if you haven't won, it's just like y'all can just go off. And so if we get down a couple 2-point goals, then it's like that's going to be very worrisome for me.
Cannons have 16 on the year. Chaos have 5.
Okay, yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So you get that like head start kind of thing. That's what like okay. Are we going to score 6 today?
Yeah, that's
kind of
I'm
feeling.
glad that Josh, that you pointed that out, the second half team, because I mean we're here to like talk about you guys a little bit more, but the second halves that the Cannons have put on has been incredible. Like you said, whether they won or not, like they didn't win against the Whips, but man, did they close that game down from a
Yeah.
blow to a nail biter, really, pulling away from the Atlas. So, and yeah, with the 2 bombs, like that game against the Archers. Both teams scored 9 times, but 5 of ours were 2s.
Yeah.
Yeah. But what about on the flip side, then? What is something that gives you confidence going into this weekend, and that you think Aidan and I should be worried about?
Okay. I mean, I think just our defense more generally.
Yeah.
We've just are on lock. Blaze is excellent, and so I think with us, it's like I think we can be, you can be prepared for possibly, kind of having a war of attrition through part of it, where it's like if our defense is on lock like it usually is, if we can stop some of those outside shots early on, then I think y'all will be in for a real slugfest. And it's like I think that's something that we can do is have a real slugfest, rock fight. And that's what the Chaos are
Ian
good at.
McKay.
Yeah.
Well, I like our transition though. Chances are really good because like Geddes, like you said, like the dude is insanely fast.
So fast.
And once he's clearing, no one's catching him. There's just no one. So the whole offense, once they're up there waiting on him to transition over there, it's like if you're ready to go, like we can score on those transition plays.
Yeah. And that's something Coach Holman talked to us about, is eliminating transition. He was like, that Whip Sinks game's like, all right, if we eliminate the transition goals, the score is like 8-6. So how do we get rid of that? And I am so confident. I think their meetings are usually Tuesday or Wednesday, that Geddes was definitely brought up as a topic of conversation.
For sure.
Blaze in the defense is like the easy topic, like the easy thing to pick. But the way that Geddes, like I've picked him as my defender in fantasy a number of times this year because he's gone off scoring and just pushing the ball.
Ground ball and score. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And getting Blaze some assists as well.
He is.
I was like, wait for Blaze's transition goals,
Yeah.
Right.
I really hope that doesn't happen again against us. I was so happy to see it a couple weeks ago or last week, whatever it was, but I do not want to be the people
it's bad enough that we have to watch out for Geddes. Like I don't, like Blaze said that he thought he would have been on the scout by now. I hate that he has to be on the scout.
Yeah.
Like, come on, you're a big boy goalie. Just stay in the cage, please.
Yeah. I mean,
Blaze,
at least we know.
And he's had his knee problems.
Yeah.
Like, didn't he just pop it back into place himself or something like that? Like,
possibly the patella that he had. Yeah.
Like, that's just.
Are you guys worried about that at all? The his, I guess, specifically knee or leg health, because he missed that time earlier. He came out for a few minutes. What was it, last week or the week before?
I'm worried that he's going to be 30. Like,
oh yeah, fair enough.
I'm worried about.
Yeah, 1,000 saves, a lot of them off his legs.
Exactly.
Yeah. I'm not that worried. I mean, they have him listed on the injury report as questionable right now. But I mean, I'm not that worried. And
I think that was his toe now.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I think he took a shot off his foot as well. I mean, that's his style, right? Though, is he makes a lot more like hockey style saves with his legs than any other goalie, I think, in the league. Maybe Ward, because he plays so damn high.
It's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Blaze is definitely. I mean, I'm sure he's on the scout for the Cannons now. Although at least, unlike Geddes, I'm confident all our midfielders can run him down if he starts getting towards the midline.
True. Yeah. But
Only-
Geddes,
No.
that boy's got some speed.
Oh my
Fun fact, I played against him in high school. He
Really?
was not fun to play against.
I
Well,
can
there
imagine.
was one. I think it was the Atlas game, and I think it was Miles Jones. Like I think probably took a 2-pointer or something like that, and Geddes got the ball off either outlet or or a ground ball,
Yeah.
and starts just trucking it. And Miles Jones kind of like sees him running behind him, and so he starts running faster. And then Geddes still just blows by, and Miles Jones is like, "Oh, we're running, like we're going." Like
Yeah,
he
he
just
didn't have to do
flew
anything.
by him.
They need to bring back the like that speed test at the
Yeah,
Speed one.
the
fastest
All-Star
player.
game.
Oh,
The
I
fastest.
think he wins that easy.
Run. He just book it.
Yeah,
Oh my goodness, that would be entertaining.
yeah, it's
But-
fun. I mean, we saw it in the Olympics. It's just fun to see people run real fast.
Oh yeah. Well, that's where when we're talking about like our offense changing too, it has surprised me with the speed we have with like Ross Scott and Shane Knobloch and Jules Henningberg.
And
Like,
Minikis.
That yeah, Minikis, and then even Maea's gotten in from High Point here down here. And it's just surprising to go away from that like 2-man game type thing where like you could just outspeed teams easily.
Yeah,
I mean, we had one play, I think it was 2 weeks against the Archers, where it was like we had 2 guys back at X basically who had speed, and it was like one guy, he beat your guy, and he tossed it over, and he beat from X, and it was like, why aren't we doing more of that?
yeah, I would love to ask Andy Towers that.
Exactly.
I'm sure
It's
he's
like
been asked because
that's
yeah,
where the
you get
frustration comes.
Minikis and Scott in a 2-man game. You get one of those guys like just a quarter of a step ahead of his defender. You're not catching up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They're
you just
so
gotta hope he
fast.
misses at that point. Yeah. So I mean, we've talked about the offensive difficulties quite a lot, but how do you feel about like those two new guys coming over from the woods in Jules and Perkovic? I made a joke when it happened that, is the Redwoods Binfield the guys we want to be copying? Do you feel like that is borne out, or are you like Jules has gone down to attack more than he was able to with the Woods, especially when they got Pinnell, but how do you feel about those guys, how they fit in, or is it again just a case of like the chemistry comes with time?
It might come with time. I mean, I think Jules fits in a bit better than Perkovic does. So I mean, and I like Jules coming out of the box because there's more space up top for him up there. And then Kurtz, on attack can work the inside better. And then it's like when you've also got, if it's Jules, at midfield Knobloch, then it's putting a lot of pressure on the other defenses to be like, okay, who do we want to put a short stick on here? Right. It's because we got the speed for these guys. And so, I mean, I think he's working really well. I mean, I don't know if Perkovic, if he doesn't fit, or if it's just like there's other people they'd rather use more, but I'm not sure with that.
Yeah, he didn't play last week, right? He's definitely not played.
He's had some injury, and then I think being maybe on the reserved roster as well.
Okay, yeah. Let me just pull that up, see how many games he's played so far.
That's where I feel like maybe it's like getting the younger guy in now, like get Dobson in, because I feel like they're almost that same like build and stuff like that. And Dobson's got a hammer of a shot.
Yeah, no, he's
a big guy.
5 games out of the 9 so far. So
okay, yeah.
Yeah, Dobson and Knobloch, like the way they could I think they both must have 2s right this year. I know, actually, I'm not sure if they do. They should. Well, I guess you guys only have 5 as a team, so
yeah, it's a bear, but yeah,
never mind.
Bear with us on that.
Let's see. Dobson.
I want to say Dobson hit one. Perks hit 1 or 2.
No, Perkovic has 2 of them actually. I just saw that. Dobson does not. His 5 ones.
Yeah,
Dobson doesn't have one. Wow.
Yeah, because he was shooting.
Well, he came in like kind
105.
of late too.
Okay,
Yeah.
Knobloch does have one.
Yeah, I think I knew Knobloch had one.
Yeah. They're just tough to scheme up, or they're tough to get without, kind of specifically scheming them up, and especially if they know you're looking for them.
Well, it's crazy when you can have the team that scores 4 goals, and then you play Utah and you have 15 goals.
Yeah.
And it's like you win, you go off.
The Chaos just have the Archers number for some weird way. Like if it works out that you guys are matched up with the Archers in the first round of the playoffs, I think I'm taking you guys. Like unless there's significant injuries. Like I don't know what it is, but for whatever reason, maybe it's just because Ian McKay is pissed off he got traded. And because I remember that first playoff game, I think after that he had like 2 or 3 goals, including a 2. Yeah, he's a
I'm
He's
actually
a
kind of
feisty
surprised
one.
he's
Yeah.
been like on the offensive side a lot more.
Yeah,
I feel this year.
because he was kind of traded there to be. I mean, he was an LSM that first year he came over.
And then he's more like of the like transition type player. It's
Yeah,
like get the ball to the offense and get off. But I feel like he's been like because there's been some times where he's picked with Burn.
yeah, and I definitely agree. Like if he brings an O mid or especially an attackman with him, then to stay on and try to at least get a switch or getting a short stick onto Burn, like go for that. But it
Yeah.
seems like he's really staying out. I can't remember seeing him if he like gets switched on when they go on offense, but he's been out there for a
Been able
long
to stay
time.
on.
I don't know if he just wants to prove something, and certainly it's not gone his way. We saw that clip against the Whip Snakes. The reason
I
he
want
didn't about 10
I
games.
want to see more of that clip because I only saw the one part when they came back. But I'm like, there was stuff going on
Yeah,
between
no, I
those two.
think I did manage to see it, and Krebs had I think hit him because McKay had the ball and passed it up, and then I think Krebs took a whack at him. Um, but I mean his
But then it's
response.
like all of a sudden it's like breaking away commercial, and then they just saw McKay.
Yeah,
I'm like, what was going on between them?
I gotta
Yeah.
think there's some words said as well. Fun fact is I watched that game in Fairfield, like in the stands next to Brendan Krebs's like family and friends.
Uh-huh.
That was
They
it was
had
a
some
weird place
words.
to be. Yeah, and I was rooting for the Chaos along with my other friend who was there, um, because Eastern Conference and all that. But
That's always fun and when the families are nearby too.
yeah, it
Mhm.
definitely made me cheer just a little bit quieter.
Like I don't know if you had any like of the opposing teams when you guys were had your homecoming, like if anybody was near.
I don't
Because there's
think
some
so.
I don't
families that
think
are just like
so.
nearby because we were basically kind of behind our team.
Hmm.
We did um end up tailgating with like the whole Garnsey family the first night, which was such a odd
Yeah.
experience. But outside of that, I don't think I saw any opposing
No,
families.
or even Cannon's families.
Well, we saw Keelties.
Yeah, that's right. Sorry, yeah, we saw Jack Kilty's parents, and then we saw Alex Ost on the sideline after the second game.
Yeah.
But as far as like in the stands, like that first night at Fairfield, I also saw that
We saw
first
the
game.
Rawls
Oh yeah,
walking
that's right.
around.
I
Yeah.
and then I saw
So
them again in Fairfield,
yeah,
and the Tucci's, but
right.
not no opponents, which is probably the best because you know I don't think Kieran McCardle or Michael Sauer's family would want to hear what I have to say.
Sour's dad
Probably
just comes out.
not.
Uh,
But
um, let's see. I think we covered most of the important stuff. Um,
Mhm.
let's see. The
Score
one,
predictions?
yeah. Let's just wrap it up with some score predictions.
Oh my.
10-4 again.
I don't-
Or other way.
Yeah, no,
Other
I'm
way.
never gonna pick PLO offense to score 4. I'm never gonna
no,
pick
there's just no way. Yeah.
Yeah.
no.
And we've done 4 and 6. I think we've done 6 twice.
And there's been a 7, but I think that was the Archers.
It's crazy.
Yeah, there've been,
Yeah.
and
Well,
then
wasn't that the Chaos Archers game? It was 9-7 or something like that.
that
Yeah.
was
Let
yeah.
me see. I think so. Let me see.
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
our homecoming.
mine-
That was the second game.
Yeah.
Well, and then we had 17-4 and 18-5. Yeah. Oh, and then the Dogs only put up 6 in that game before. I forgot that. Chaos with
Yeah.
8.
Yeah, and they were held scoreless until like the third quarter.
Yeah. Oh, that was great.
Oh, I really thought we were gonna see a shutout.
It's definitely tough because
Yeah,
I keep typically feeling if we hold, like our defense holds people to 10, 11 goals,
Mhm.
like you have to win a game. You have to win the game.
yeah.
Right.
So it's like if we are able to hit 13 somehow, then we win.
Which
I believe.
oh, I think I agree with you there. That might be no, that wouldn't be a season high because you guys got 15 against the Archers, but that would be an uncharacteristic offensive output for you guys this season. Not that it couldn't happen.
Because I think what is the Atlas? I think scored the most against us probably
Yeah,
at like
the Atlas
15
scored
goals.
15 against us, and then the Archers were second at 14. But I mean, the otherwise,
That was a loss.
it's been yeah, right. Um, but otherwise, it's the week 1 Outlaws 11, week 2 11 by the Woods, but then it was 9 by the Archers week 3, 9 Whip Snakes. Second time we played the Woods 8. I mean, I
Yeah,
think
10
if
for the Dogs.
10 for the Dogs. So I
That's what I'm
mean,
saying. We should have like if we were just getting like 12, 13 goals, it's a totally different.
yeah, odds.
Yeah.
That's when we have our coach Holman thing where it's like, if we just play our game, we look at the scoreboard. If if we can get above or like at or above 12 goals, then odds are we probably win the game,
Probably
Yeah.
one
right? Because of how our defense works.
for sure.
Yeah, I agree.
Fair.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
this
Do
is
we hit
definitely a
that
game
this
we
week?
take the under.
We're
Yeah,
predicting, Josh. Do we
there
hit
we
that
go.
this week?
I mean, I'll go ahead and say my goal prediction will be 12-10 chaos win.
All
That's
I
right.
what I'll
like
say.
that.
Okay.
I do like that.
Yeah.
I like it.
Doubling
right.
down.
We just gotta to play our defense.
Yeah.
And then if we can score, we score.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I don't see either team hitting double digits this weekend.
oh, okay.
To be honest, just like you said, not sure what is going on with your offense, and your defense is unreal, and Blaze is insane. And like we talked about the Cannons with their second half defenses, there's been, I can't remember how many games, but several where Hurst gave up 1 or 2 goals in the entire second half. So I just feel like it is exactly going to be an absolute slugfest. I'll probably go, obviously I'm going to take the Cannons.
Yep.
So I think I will go 9-8 maybe.
I'll go
Nice
10.
and close.
10-8.
Yeah, 10-8. I think it's definitely going to be lower.
Are there more penalties than goals?
Ooh,
Ooh.
in minutes or calls?
Right. Yeah.
I think there's
yeah,
definitely more minutes. I feel.
Yeah, I mean, I say Ian McKay is definitely going to get an unnecessary roughness foul.
Yeah.
The Cannons are the most penalized team, so I think that'll be up there as well.
It'll be close.
Yeah, there will be a good number. I'm just checking the betting line now to see. The over-under set at 22.5, so that'd be what, like 12, 11?
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to get there.
Yeah,
think
I
so
don't.
either.
I don't see it going over.
I'd take the under on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would
For
actually
sure.
bet. Yeah.
Yeah.
And,
And
just
of
for
course,
that,
now it's
gonna
going to be like 25 to
Exactly.
28.
yeah, the blowout
or,
that one of
I'll
our
tell my
teams.
wife. I'll be like, guess
Yeah.
what? I screwed up. Okay.
It's like,
Told you I was
we gotta
never betting.
move.
Yeah.
I made a mistake.
No, I mean, I think it'll be a slugfest. I hope it's not, so that there can be a little bit of chaos, pardon the pun.
Mm.
Ha ha ha.
Thanks, Jack. But I think you guys are pretty safely into the playoffs, and once you do, like the friend that I went with to Fairfield, he's a pretty neutral fan, and I think after 2 years at Fairfield, he's become a Chaos fan because the vibes. You guys have just had the best vibes both of those games. I mean, the OT winner was a great game last year against the Atlas, and I mean, who doesn't love Coach Towers?
Right.
So, obviously we're rooting for the Cannons to technically get their first PL championship, but not you guys to get your second. But there's a lot of other teams I dislike more than the Chaos. I'll just say it very diplomatically like that. So
Chaos
Yeah.
were the first team I rooted for in the PLL back in
Huh.
2019 when they tried to, when they launched the teams and they put out whatever it was like the vibes of the team or what the meetings
Yeah.
were. And I was like, how am I supposed to pick a team? And I did all the research, like reading the descriptions of the meetings, and I was like, you know what? Chaos sounds pretty
Sounds great.
cool.
Yeah.
I was like, I like that. Sure, I'll go with the
I
Chaos.
I kept my free agency all the way through. I
Mm.
just rooted for the league to succeed.
Yeah, no, I never really was solidified those first couple of years. I started with the Chaos, and then by the end of the year, I was a Redwoods fan. And then in 2020, I switched over to the Archers, and then obviously the merger happened and
Just
the Cannons came
just
in, and
natural. Yep.
that's when I just
yeah.
boom, all right. And since that day in December 2020, it's been full on Cannons again.
Oh yeah. Glad of it. Yeah, all right. Well, thank you guys both for coming on. Hopefully, well, I don't know about hopefully, but possibly we'll be doing this again later in September for the playoffs.
We'll
Um,
see.
yeah, we'll see. And maybe for Champ Series too, right? There's still a chance you guys could be in for that.
Yeah. Well,
Not feeling
that's
too
less sure than
confident there.
less sure than the playoffs, but we'll see.
That,
I
yeah, that
mean,
is true.
that would be fun. It was funny when we were at the Champ Series this year because I guess prior to the home city, so I had supported the Whip Snakes,
Mm.
and then I was like, dang man, like neither of my teams are here.
Yeah.
Like watching y'all go crazy for the Cannons, and I'm just standing over there like, all right, here I am wearing my chaos thing, and I've got my whip snake sweater upstairs, and
Well,
oh,
even if the Chaos don't make Champ Series, Whips are already in, so
yeah,
you'll have something
my
there next
secondary
year.
this term, yeah, next year.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But anywho's,
Yeah. All right. Thank you guys for coming on. Good luck this weekend and the regular diplomatic sense of the word. Hope everyone stays healthy. And
Yeah,
yeah.
looking forward to doing this again at some point down the line.
Yeah.
for sure.
Anytime.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. See you guys.
Yeah.
Later.
And thanks again to Josh and Michael for coming on, chatting up some Cannons Chaos. Good to connect with those guys. I can't believe it's been, I don't even know how long since Champ Series.
Almost 6
Just
months.
it's wild how much time has
Yeah.
flown by. Like it obviously with the whole East West thing that you only play once, that it's like you forget that the chaos even exists. Like not actually, but
Shots
like
fired.
it just but like I just haven't really thought about Carolina very much all year, just because they're always another game. So
Yeah.
obviously I'm so focused on the Cannons that it's like, oh wait, we haven't played Carolina yet. What? The season's over. Like
Yeah.
it's really strange.
It is. I wish that it hadn't been so long. I mean, on the other hand, like the Archers game was so long ago that if they wound up meeting in the playoffs, it'll be like totally different thing. But yeah, I would
Yeah,
love for
true.
the PLL to do what the NFL does and have the last game of the year be a division matchup for everyone.
Mm,
Like if this last game was against the Dogs, Whipsnakes, or Atlas, that would definitely bring, standings aside, like assuming, the seeding, whatever, with the situation was still the same, that would just bring a little extra bit of fire. Um,
right.
and especially because with how up in the air the West things are, every with the so the what the Outlaws have clinched, but the one seed is still up in the air, and then for the other three teams, like, oh my God, could you imagine if the Chaos and Redwoods were playing this weekend, like each other?
That would be electric.
Yeah, although I think that actually probably would make it a little, because that would mean specifically the Redwoods would have to win that game by 22 versus, win by 11 and hope
Oh
the Chaos
yeah.
lose by 11.
Yeah. True. But
Um,
there's just so many scenarios that could
yeah,
shake out right now. So it is pretty wild just what's gonna happen.
yeah. So I think from the Cannons' perspective, just win, and you're the 2 seed in the East, the 3 seed overall, is really all you got to worry about.
Yep.
From the Chaos perspective, just don't lose. And at the very least, don't lose by like 10. Um, yeah, it'll be. I mean, we said this with Coach Holman, we said this with Josh and Michael there. It's going to be an intense game. Tough to stay up for. Hopefully it doesn't turn into a snooze fest and type of blowout, because I think for both you and me, it'll be pretty easy to fall asleep about midnight when the fourth quarter starts if it's not a close game. Uh,
Yeah, it'll be very easy. So
yeah,
I am it is well past my bedtime.
yeah,
So I am
really,
very much hoping that we get an exciting game that makes it worth my while staying up so late.
yeah, and no weather delay.
Oh,
If
goodness
they had
gracious.
to,
Don't even speak that into existence, Aiden. Like that Archers game where
yeah,
they got delayed. Oh my gosh.
yeah. Well,
What's the weather in Utah this weekend?
that is
Now
very
I'm now you're scaring me.
Oh dear.
Weather in Salt Lake City. Okay, Friday looks clear.
Phew.
Friday looks clear all day.
And the
Yeah, 0% chance of rain.
fantastic. I know it's a bit deserty out there, but it's not like it doesn't rain.
Yeah.
And
So
I checked the first game on Saturdays at 6:30 p.m. So there would be time to squeeze that in at probably an hour that you and I would both prefer. But uh
true.
yeah, we're
So
getting some lax after dark. Who knows? Maybe we'll both get a little loopy. It'll be even fun because of that.
we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. And then we'll have some time off. Well, from watching games. We'll still be
A
coming to
week.
you.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I guess it is just one week, but
It's just one weekend. It's just the fact that it's a Friday night game and then
a Monday.
Monday Labor Day.
Yeah,
It's technically 3 full weekends in between, but it's just 1 week off of games. Like it's 2 weeks until the next game.
right. Like if they were playing the other Friday, it would be what, August 30th, and that would be
Right. That would be
that
2 weeks.
feels a lot earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just it's the fact that the calendar flips to the new month. That if they're playing August 30th, that feels so much less time than saying September 2nd.
Absolutely.
Because it's August 16th, that you're halfway through August.
Yeah. Um,
But
yeah. All right. So
anyways,
yeah, we see you out late Friday night again at West End Johnnie's in Boston. If you can't make it, we understand. But
we do. The game is on ESPN Plus.
yep. So you'll be able to, if you don't stay up, you can watch it at your leisure the next morning.
Yeah.
That honestly might be what I would be doing if we didn't have a watch party. Um,
Same.
and yeah, and I don't think we'll know who the Cannons playoff opponent will be by the end of that game, but we will certainly know when we come back to you on Monday.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll talk about the playoffs coming up then. We'll hopefully have some interviews for you during the bye week, but we hope to see you on Friday. Or if not, we'll see you the Monday after for episode. And so until whenever that is, go Cannons.
Go Cannons.
Boom.
Boom.